Welcome to the Onemanshowoff podcast, the show where we talk about whatever. Today, I have a very special guest. He's a UK-based artist who draws furry chavs and does some DJing music too. He's unique, he's cool, he's Scifijackrabbit. How have you been, man?
I've been really good, thank you.
Awesome.
It's one a.m. right now, but yeah, I'm good.
Haha, time zone is like 8:21 over here, so that's good. Anyways, let's get this started. What got you into doing art, and how long have you been doing it?
Well, I have the generic answer of doing art my whole life kind of thing. But yeah, ever since I could hold a pencil, I was just drawing. But I mainly got into art more seriously around I say 2010. That's when I started like getting into anthropomorphic characters and whether you want to call them furries and stuff. I've never really considered myself a furry as such, but I kind of like that art, and yeah, it's just kind of blew up since then.
Next question. Your aesthetic is grungy cityscapes. What piqued your love for that?
Well, obviously I come from London, so that's just it's like I just soak up everything around me, really. Like I can be sitting on a London bus just listening to music and looking outside at the cityscapes, and it just gets me like really inspired. So I kind of take advantage of my surroundings.
Like real talk, I love the way you draw your rectangles and buildings and grungy detail. It's just why is it that the dirty stuff is good? It feels
Yeah,
good,
pretty much. I
Yeah,
agree. I have a sort of soft spot for ugly buildings, particularly brutalist architecture.
yeah,
Sort of like a little thing that I'm into.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Hey, just as long as you don't touch them.
yeah.
I mean, my aesthetic is like gas stations late at night, but hey, they're nice, but just don't touch them, especially the bathrooms. Anyway, next question. I adore the way you build your worlds and your little character profiles because it's like a formal description for your characters, but they have so much character that it just makes them even more interesting. How do you go about writing these profiles?
Well, I'm pretty much always thinking about them because considering these characters have been in my head for a very, very long time, like since 2010. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't actually have many characters compared to other artists who create like hundreds. I sort of just stick to my little group, I guess, of about, I don't know, seven, eight. I mean, I have a lot more than that, but I seem to focus on the girls quite a bit. So yeah, I don't know. They've just developed over time. I've given them backstories and stuff. It's just I don't know. I like to give my characters a bit of context.
Yeah, yeah, like I mean, you got like two worlds to worry about, so you don't have to worry about a million of them. So that's probably why your characters have so much development. But I mean, like the way you describe your characters and locations and on your profiles, just I don't know, it just seems so simple stuff, but it just seems too interesting. Like you know how to take concepts and make them all cool and stuff. Maybe it's the emoticons. I don't know.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's I don't know. I sort of I try to make my characters quite culturally significant because you've got like your goth and emo furries. There's a lot of them, but there's not a lot of like chavs and gangsters. So I sort of I guess I mean I don't want to sound too big-headed, but I feel like I'm filling a niche which like needs to be filled. So yeah, that's where the inspiration for the characters come from.
All right,
That's sort of yeah.
we need more stories about chavs. Like over here, we've all. I mean, yeah, we've learned about gangster stuff because it's America, but with British, it's like a totally different kind of gangsta, which I feel like is more appealing than the stuff over here. Like you guys have a bunch of creative sounds and
Well,
drum and
yeah,
bass.
yeah, that is true. I was just about to say, America has got hip hop and the culture sort of surrounding that, and just general sort of urban vibe you've always had over there, and America should be very proud of that.
Yeah,
But there's also there's like stuff from other countries like that, but it's still different, including the UK. And we do have our own sort of urban scene,
huh.
and I don't know, chavs is a bit of a bad word. Like chavs aren't normally looked on very kindly. It's kind of like, I guess you guys have ratchet, that term. Like,
Yeah.
like chavs is kind of like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's comedic value in chavs, I
Yeah.
think.
I wouldn't want to fetishize chavs. Just from what I've seen of you, you know how to make them appealing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if most real chavs are a bit like I don't know, see, people have often like called like or assume that I'm a chav myself, but I'm really not. I'm more of like an observer of chavs in
And
quotes.
and you write down what you observe. That's what an artist usually does.
Yes,
And,
yes, of
and,
course.
before we get to our next question, I want to say this because I'm lame. Hey, if she's Ratchet, then who's Clank?
Oh God.
I'm.
God, mate.
I have no regrets. Okay. Next question. How long have you had your Concrete Jungle idea, and do you plan on publishing the comic someday?
Concrete Jungle's been going for a very, very long time. Uh, I was initially inspired by Roboto. I don't know if you've heard of that artist, but he has a webcomic called Rat Rage, and it was basically the first comic I saw which sort of merged like furry anthro stuff with like urban themes,
Huh.
and that really inspired me. So I thought, you know what? I'm into all this London ghetto pirate radio drum and bass stuff. So why don't I merge that with my own
Ooh.
sort of furries? And that's how it came about. And like the idea's been in my head for a while, and I'm just building it. But again, it's mainly in my head because getting it out on paper is a completely different board game.
Oh, I can.
And
I
yeah,
I can understand to that.
that's why
And
that's why it's taken so long. That's why I've had a huge break from at least putting it out. Because the last page I put out on Concrete Jungle or CJRFM, I use Concrete Jungle as a more sort of subtle, formal name for it.
mhm.
But
What does
yeah.
CJRF? I'm sorry for interrupting. What does CJRFN stand for? Concrete
Oh, it
Jungle. What?
stands for Concrete Jungle Radio FM.
Ah. Ah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
it's a radio station.
For a while, it reminded me of Jet Set Radio Future, just
Yeah, yeah.
because the
Jesse
title looks
Radio
cool.
Future was another huge inspiration.
Yeah.
But anyway, as I was saying, that yeah, making up comics and worlds and like stories, it takes a lot longer than I thought. I mean, I put it out there a bit too fast without thinking what I was doing, to be honest. So that's why I've had sort of 3 year.
Yeah. Your first comics I've seen just felt way too anime inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
So
now later on you come in and everything just looks a bit more cool and slick. Like you changed your Arthur character into a rat, and wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, I had to go back and change
Yeah.
some stuff.
And
But
question, just because I want to see it in the comic, does the rat and Minx have a relationship kind of like in the first comic, but it's not as extreme?
all right, yeah, his name is Frank, by the way.
Frank.
Maybe. I mean, I did change him to a rat because I thought a cat and a rat couple is more sort of relatable.
Oh, oh,
To be honest,
that's
but I'm not saying they're gonna be a couple, but I just think they're sort of cuter together.
yeah, it would be cute. Like, is Minx gonna be doing a whole bunch of crazy things, and the Frank is just gonna react accordingly?
Probably. Minx is pretty wild.
Yeah, because I can actually imagine them in a car chase from those robot dogs, just because I thought it'd be funny to see.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're not gonna have that, that's perfectly fine. But what are they?
Well, uh,
I was
as,
gonna ask if they're gonna get in bed, but nah.
as I said, I have a lot of stuff in my head. It's just getting it on paper is a whole different story.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
I try here and there. You know, I make like little bios. I put them up sometimes when I feel like they're well, I wouldn't say finished. When I feel like they're ready to be seen, I
hmm
put up a few things. But mainly, it's just sort of in my head, and it has been for a long time.
hmm
So yeah.
just put it in a nice place and write down all your stuff as much as you can.
Yeah.
And off topic, can you tell me a little bit about pirate radio?
Oh, pirate. Oh, yeah. Well, it's sort of part of London urban culture, I guess. Early 90s, like it's kind of hard to explain, even though I wrote a whole essay on it for my university.
Just like I'm just gonna ask what it is it like radio that isn't distributed by actual radio stations and it's just put on the airwaves,
Yes,
unconventional?
it's like DIY. It's like do it yourself kind of thing. You just set up an aerial, set up an aerial in your flat and just like get your DJ equipment, connect it to it, and there you go. You're on the air. But unfortunately, it's illegal
Ah,
because of a whole slew of shit reasons.
and the name gives it away. I mean, I mean, like a radio station can't be here if it's non-profit.
Yeah,
That I mean, that's honestly something I can understand. But come on, we need some freedom stuff around here.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. My stories and stuff kind of are based around all that kind of stuff. So
Ah,
yeah.
I can't wait to see what else happens. All right, next question. Not only are you an artist, but you are also a musical artist. I mean, I just wrote that in the script without even thinking. I realized you're not really a musical artist. You're a DJ, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, you're a DJ that remixes dubs and other rad drum and bass stuff. What got you into doing that kind of thing, and how long have you been doing it? And do you see yourself DJing somewhere?
Well, I got into it because my friend is a DJ, and he was my friend since I was a little kid, but I didn't see him for 5 years because we didn't go to the same high school.
Oh,
Anyway, this isn't about my life story.
it's
Well, it
fine.
kind of is, but
Yeah.
yeah. So he's a DJ, and I was invited to his house one time, and he was just having a little mix with his friends, and I was like, oh wow, this is really fucking cool. I want to get into this. So he kind of helped me sort of acquire the equipment, and I started buying records, and that's what my whole university grant or loan went on.
Ah,
Yeah, pretty much I'd say more than half of my loan went on records.
ugh.
So yeah, uh so I'm a DJ, but I produce tracks here and there. I'm not as into it because I don't really have the time and patience for it as
you
much as I do art.
ever thought
But
about
yeah.
making a soundtrack for your comic?
I have, but honestly, I'd rather outsource for that kind of stuff.
All right. I firmly believe that if you have a friend, you should go to their birthday as a DJ.
Possibly. I mean, I've always wanted to sort of play out, but I'm not sure if I'm ready, and two, I don't really know how. I mean, I've got bookings open, but I haven't really received anything so far.
I mean, it would be super nice if you were a DJ at a friend's party. Like, wow, my friend has so much talent, and he's got like Luna boobs right here, and it's cool. Yeah, it's bragging rights, but hey, whatever.
I always thought it would be a funny idea to like do it at a furry convention or something.
Huh?
Just a mad drum and drum and bass.
That would be a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah,
So
probably.
yeah. Hopefully, you can keep that in mind. All right, last question. Before you were this classic Sonic nut that was a super anti-modern Sonic. Now you're
Yeah.
getting so far in life. How do you feel about that progression?
Uh, most people actually don't know this part about me, but yeah, basically just to give a bit of context and backstory to this question. I used to back in I guess from 2008 to 2010. I went under the username Kid on YouTube, and basically I just make videos about how new Sonic sucks, blah blah blah, green eyes, all that stuff, all that shit that people really hate.
Yeah,
Basically, I was just a huge Sonic fag,
yeah.
and I was really grumpy. And eventually, I just kind of. It's not that I grew out of Sonic because I fucking love Sonic still, but I sort of just. I didn't really like the negativity every day, just like bitching with people about Sonic. It just got really boring. So I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna become a furry. Like, it's just a lot more nicer and free and.
I actually feel like I first discovered you through Raver Kid,
Yeah.
or was it Teen Chi Chi Bomb first?
Oh yeah, it went from Raver Kid to Team Happy Bomb,
Yeah,
and it was Team Happy Bomb because I was with two other people.
yeah.
It was sort of like a team thing, but then we all wanted to go our separate ways, and then I can't exactly remember how, but I came up with the name Scifijackrabbit.
Yeah,
I guess it sounds cool. It's a bit too long though, so now I shorten it to SFJR.
yeah, or
But
Jack, because that's cool.
yeah, so yeah, so that's how it came about really, and how I feel about the progression. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I mean, considering that I don't really follow. There's ways of getting popular, which are drawing fan art or basically butt sucking other big artists. Like I kind of just draw my own thing, and even though it is like sexual and all boobs and stuff like that, I mean I've kind of gotten pretty far just doing my own thing, so I'm quite proud of that.
yeah. It goes to show you that you don't have to be all like fan arty to get well known and stuff.
Yeah,
Also, to be fair, Modern Sonic is kind of lame.
yeah, yeah. He is.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
little fast.
I think it's about time we end this interview right now. It's been an honor speaking with you, and your art is amazing, and I hope you actually get far in life as a great artist.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. That concludes our interview, and we'll see you all later.
See ya.